Joshua!
Bravo, todo un hombre.
Alright, so hi guys. But yeah, this is gonna be kind of a test video for us because this is, I think, the first video I'm ever gonna have like actual like visuals in the background or actual like gameplay of just like, random just like visuals just so it's not a still image, because I know a lot of my previous videos are just me essentially talking over a still image, and I could assume that, if you don't really care about what I'm talking about or whatever, it could get a little bit boring, or if you just need a little bit of extra stimulation and such like that, you know? So there's that. But the actual topic of the video at hand, though, is talking about height. I feel like it's a thing I hear online very, very often, is guys talking about their height and women talking about height and how important being tall is, and, this, that, and the third. And really, what I want to say about that is I feel like the issue with height is that it's a primarily online internet conversation. I feel like if you go out into the real world and you actually go out and talk to like real women, you go outside, walk on the street, go to the mall, go to your classes, college campus, high school, whatever, and you actually just talk to women, I think you'll end up realizing that women don't really care about height as much as they try and make it seem like they do online. And I have a couple of points about, how I feel about that, but I feel like one of the biggest ones I like to point out is I feel like there are definitely a lot of bad faith actors, a lot of bad faith people that are essentially trying to propagate this kind of idea that, like, if you're shorter than like 6 feet tall, there's no hope for you and you're never going to be able to get anything from anyone or whatever. And I just think that's ridiculous. I think a lot of the people that are trying to like propagate that idea are a lot of like women that are kind of just rage baiting men, to be completely honest. Like, I feel like people forget that people do be trolling on the internet. Like, people do be trolling, you know what I mean? I feel like it is a lot of like internet trolls and women just essentially trying to, target and attack like men's insecurities just to like make fun of them. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what else to say. You know what I mean? Sometimes you just get made fun of online. You know what I mean? Like, some people will make fun of you for being ugly. People will make fun of you for being fat, blah, 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 this, that, and third. And I feel like that's one part of it. But I feel like another part of it is, I don't want to generalize women when I say this, but I feel like a good chunk of women, especially the women on dating apps that are like, oh yeah, 6 feet tall is the minimum or whatever. I feel like they don't really understand what 6 feet tall looks like in real life. And I feel like when they say they want someone who's 6 feet tall, I feel like what they're really trying to say is that they just want a man who's taller than them. Not necessarily 6 feet tall, but they just want a man who's taller than them just in general, if you know what I mean. So like, you can be 5'10" or 5'11" or like 5'9" or 5'8" or whatever. But as long as you're generally taller than they are, it's fine generally. And that's what I notice in real life, is that I usually tend to approach women who are shorter than me more often than not. And it's not a conscious effort. It's a subconscious thing. Like, I think I subconsciously just find women who are shorter than me more attractive. And I don't think I think about that. But I think it is what it is. You know what I mean? Either that or I'm just a regularly tall guy, which I don't think I'm very tall, but I am the average height, by the way. I'm 5'9", which 5'9" is the average height of a guy in America. So it's weird. Some people think that's short, which I'm not sure about that. I don't know how average could be short, but some people think that's short. So I guess I'm a short guy, but I don't know. I personally don't really think of myself as short. But yeah. And I've been thinking about it, and sitting here thinking about it, I decided, like, since I've approached so many women and I've talked to so many women and I've made, so many different girlfriends and I've made so many different friends with women, and I've had all types of different conversations with them. I figured it would be a good idea to actually try and test out this theory and kind of form like a hypothesis almost to try and see if like being taller really changes how women interact with you or not. So I went online and I was searching up some stuff, and I don't know how I found it. I don't think I was really searching for it. I think I might have gotten like an ad for it on TikTok or something. But I found this thing on Amazon called height boosters. And what they are they're these things you can slip inside of your shoe. You put them inside your shoe, and then when you wear your shoe, it kind of like lifts your feet up a little bit. You know what I mean? So it makes it look like you're taller than you actually are. And they can add like a couple inches to your height. And I think the best one I saw, and I think the one that I purchased, was one that said it could add 3 inches to your height, where you put them in your shoes and then you kind of put you put your foot in, and it's like 3 inches like up from like the insoles of like your shoes or whatever. And I haven't done it yet, but I plan on hopefully making a part two to this video where I essentially go over my experience wearing those, what's it called, insoles or height boosters or whatever, wearing those height boosters and going out and just talking to women and seeing if I feel like their reactions to me or their interactions I have with them are different. And it's not a perfect test. It's not a perfect test. It's not a perfect, whatever, because there's a lot of random factors that could play into it and such. The time of day, how hot it is, how cold it is, where I am, where I go, who I talk to, etc. But I don't know. Generally, I feel like that could be a good idea for just like a video for me to make a topic on. So that's what I plan on doing in the future. Right now, they're shipped. They're not delivered. I don't have them yet, but they're coming, and I'll see. But like I said, personally, I don't think that height really makes a huge difference. I think the big difference is just having a good personality, being a morally just good person, being interesting, like actually being interesting, right? I'd say that having a good looking, handsome face is a little bit more important than being tall, in my opinion, at least, in terms of how just women will like interact with you and such. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I'm kind of just rambling at this point, I'm gonna be honest. But yeah, as you guys know, my videos aren't scripted. I kind of just think about stuff and then I hit record and I talk. So let me know if you guys like it when my videos are scripted or if they're not scripted, or which one you think you rather prefer. Let me know if you like the gameplay I have going on in the background. It more than likely probably is me playing a racing game poorly, but but yeah, it's me playing a racing game. Let me know if you like that gameplay. Let me know if you like my unscripted videos or my scripted videos just a bit more. If you want an example of like kind of an example of a scripted video, my men's mental health video was scripted. And yeah, let me know if there's any like topics you guys want me to talk about or anything to that nature. But yeah.